Shout out to all the positive vibrators tuning in around the world to the P.V.R Life project. This is the Burnt Egg Roll. Today we'll be talking with the prolific SpydaTheRealist, repping West Palm Beach. He's going to talk about how he came up, what it was like getting shot, how he ended up in a wheelchair, and how he fell out with his Korean homie, among other things. Hope you guys enjoy. Stay blessed.
The Burnt Egg Roll?
Yeah. All right. All right, can you say something so I can see if you're here?
Yo.
All right.
Yeah, testing 1 2. 1 2. Remember them pains I was telling you about? Look, I'm getting one right now. And this how I be like this. Cause they be so bad, bro.
You said you're getting what?
A pain in my leg.
A pain in your leg?
Yeah, in my legs. Yeah, they be hurting real bad. So I clench up like that at times when they're unbearable. You know how you bet when you clench up, it feels like it takes some of the pain away. It's serious though.
I was gonna ask you a little bit later in the podcast, like how that situation happened. You know what I'm saying? And what was
whenever you want to get there, however you want to get there, you know.
Yeah.
We're on the same vibe, bro. I tell my people about you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a brother from another bitch over there. I got another Korean friend. Yeah.
I was gonna tell you, man. When I was recording the other podcast this past week, like I was trying to experiment with my mind and see how I do it when I'm sober, you know, with no drinking and no smoking. I could definitely tell that my body was more like tense and nervous, you know what I mean?
Yeah, more nerve, right?
But not only that, like my mind, the way it filters my thoughts, I'm more censored when I'm sober versus when I blaze a little bit or drink a little bit, my mind becomes more free and I talk more shit, you know what I'm saying?
I think everybody does that in a way, in a sense, because the marijuana already makes you relax and more aware. And then the drinking, that's a downer as well too. You know, that makes you more mellow and chill too, but speeds up the confidence. You can't indulge too much out here with so much things and so much stuff. You know, you'll be finding yourself waking up, oh man, how did I get here?
Right.
No,
you always got to stay on point, you know, or people catch you slipping.
It's a balance, man. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You gotta stay on point. That's with anything.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes with age though too, right? When we're young, we're just wilding, right? But when we get older, we get a little bit wiser and we're like, you know.
Yeah, our decision making and the things that we're gonna do and put our lives on at risk is just not worth it anymore. Like certain things not worth it. Like, you know what I'm saying, we just won't do. And that comes with age, because when you're 18, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking this the other day too. When you went from like 16, I say that was for me, probably earlier than that, but as far as for majority of human life and people from like 16, and I know it's males, 16 to 30, you really, you know what I'm saying, you're figuring it out and going through it. Depends on what kind of life you live and how much opportunity you're given in that life that you live from this age of 16 to 30. And then what you're going through during that lifetime, during that span, and then you realize, you know what I'm saying, what's your life worth, what time worth, and then how close you are. You know what I'm saying? What kind of spiritual relationship you have, you know, what that holds weight to you. You know what I'm saying? And
real quick, sorry to cut you off. Where are you originally from?
Oh, Florida, Palm Beach County, Boynton Beach, Florida. I'm 3 streets away from where my son passed away at, and I'm 1 city away where my incident happened at. Boynton Beach, Florida, 561, man.
561. Home of the late Jeffrey Epstein.
Don't give us that, dude, man. We got somebody better than that. Home of the late Kodak.
But notice I didn't call him great. I don't think that motherfucker's great. He's a fucking scumbag. Jeffrey Epstein, man. You know? I don't have no sympathy for people like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I said the late Jeffrey Epstein, not great.
Yeah, I forgot they plotted, they killed him, and he's not even with us no more. God bless. But yeah, you do certain crimes, bro. Like you just forever stuck with that pigment. That's like, you know what I'm saying, a character flaw. Like that's like having a pretty girl with a bad attitude, or you know what I'm saying, snotty and this and that. You're not that fine. You know what I'm saying? You're not that bad just because you think you look it when you don't have the inside and the soul.
What was it like for you growing up in West Palm Beach?
Palm Beach County, man, it's just like anywhere else. So, you know, as far as coming up, it was rough, you know. It wasn't rough as far as like I have to struggle to eat or struggle to do this just rough as, you know what I'm saying, the normal black household having, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us having to fend for this. And, you know what I'm saying, my mom and dad being, living in the 80s, you know, doing their thing, you know, so we was all, you know what I'm saying, born, you know, with like drug sound system, like certain babies and shit. So as a young boy, I always knew at a certain age, because I used to see my mom, you know what I'm saying, doing things and such that I shouldn't be seeing.
Did you have both parents in the house when you were a kid?
Till I was about 9, yeah, about 7 to 9, from in that age range, because I went to go stay with my aunties, because, you know, there wasn't no environment for me to be around. And then my mom had a lot of kids. She had like 9, 10 of us.
So you got a lot of siblings then, huh?
Yeah, I got a brother and sister that was in foster care, and I got an older brother. My older sister house right where I'm at right now, one of them, and I got another older sister. And I have my sister my younger sister that passed away, Debbie, the one that was shot. She was shot with an AK-47 in Lake Worth in a triple homicide.
Damn, man. Sorry to hear about that.
The late great Debbie, yeah, she was 25 when that happened. And
damn, man.
And I have my little brother Brandon Buck. You know what I'm saying? We just recently. What's up, Buck? You don't even know how you even got a shout out on here. I gotta keep it real. It's all love. So yeah, it's 7 of us now. So that's why when I was about 11, 13, you know what I'm saying, I knew what I wanted in life. And, you know, like I just wanted to be able to take care of my kids. My mom couldn't in the beginning of life. And I wanted to be able to provide and have, you know what I'm saying, just you know what I'm saying, their own place, their own roof, and anything after that would have been extra that I get in life, you know what I'm saying?
What was it like for you in high school?
High school was fun, you know, that's why I spent 5 years in there, I guess.
Did you have any plans of what you wanted to do after high school?
Yeah, man, like, you know, everybody had a dream of hooping and stuff, but I never got the grades. But I played basketball in high school. I played for Boynton High. Yeah, we went to state the second year. Hey, shout out to Boynton. Dave, B-Mac, Johnny, Handlelife, all them boys, man.
In high school, when you were playing basketball, you said you went to state. Did you play against any notable stars that went to the NBA?
I probably just don't remember their names right now, but it's one guy that you guys probably know that I actually played with and actually helped, like one of my proteges, Johnny, Handlelife. He does Anthony Davis, James Harden.
Handlelife is that dude on Instagram, right?
He from Boynton, bro. He from my city. I fought that dude.
You said you fought him?
Yeah, we friends. We like real tight as fuck, bro. Like
you said you fought him though?
Yeah, like.
Oh, you got in a fight with him?
Yeah, but that's when I was like coming up, and you know what I'm saying, like at a certain point you gotta prove and stuff and stand up for yourself and stand up for your people. He's a good dude. I should have never, you know what I'm saying, I regret, you know what I'm saying, like fighting him and doing it because I could box, you know what I'm saying. That's what I was known for.
What did you get into a fight with him about, man?
It was basketball. We were leaving the court, and it was like a lot of us out there. And one of my younger partners was actually finna fight him. One of my smaller dudes was finna actually fight him. You know what I'm saying? And I stepped in. It was just one punch. It wasn't a real whole fight. But at the time, he was like younger than me. You know what I'm saying? It's only like 1 or 2 years, but that's a lot back then.
You think he'll still remember that?
Yeah, he remember that though. Trust me, everybody remembers everything.
Should we make this a clip and put it on YouTube and call him out?
Make a clip and put it up there. That's my boy. Well, we straight. That shit old, you know what I'm saying? We can talk about this shit. Then we was finna fight at the gym one time. Everybody was out there. You know what I'm saying? We didn't fight because they were gonna suspend me from the gym if I would have came up to the gym. Because he was good, and he was like, when you're a top athlete in the hood, certain things, you know what I'm saying, you get like hood privileges and certain like other like what they call white privilege. You get hood privilege. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll get somebody that'll pay for you to play sports or certain things, do things like that when you know what I'm saying, your people can't do it. So you see how he is, man. He ball, he go ham. He was always, you know what I'm saying, determined. He can always he could push himself.
He built a pretty good brand, man. I'll be checking his stuff out on Instagram sometimes, you know. He does his thing. He got good handles. But what is his real game like?
Just like that. Real game just like that. It's always been like that. You know, you form your game like in high school. That's when you start seeing like, okay, what kind of game you're really gonna have and what you're gonna be. You just make it stronger and more defined through your years after that, after high school. But we used to walk to the gym, bro, putting the ball through our legs, like, man, I don't want to miss no more shots and dribbling the ball through our legs. I don't want to mess up on my dribble no more. So we just be saying that and doing that and just shooting. And he always like had more drive. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he at where he at, man, with it, because he didn't need a push. You know what I'm saying? He can push himself.
That's usually what separates certain people from other people, right? Is that drive and determination. Some people have more than other people, right?
Yes, man. Like, you know, like Sunday, and some people don't get it till late. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I know I be needing a push, but I know I can do myself too. But at the same time, that push, I don't know. It's just something about somebody being on my ass and doing that, because that's how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? My aunties, on my this, you know what I'm saying? My brothers,
What was your plans after you got done with high high school? What did you think you wanted to do?
You know what I'm saying, I wanted to work, make sure, you know what I'm saying, provide, and then I ended up getting my girl pregnant a year and a half after school, 2 years after school, when I was like 20, you know what I'm saying, turning 21. So now, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting ready for that. So then, you know what I'm saying, my life was, for those 3 years, he was here, those 3.5 years, like, so I'm doing the natural things, you know what I'm saying, not chasing no dreams or all that, just working, providing, living by example, showing, you know what I'm saying, for showing them. You know, I wasn't giving as much praise to God as I do now, you know what I'm saying. I had the fear of God and loved him, you know what I'm saying, and respecting him, and never, you know, but like the understanding and the path and the things I got now these last 6.5 years of being in the chair and shit, just got more, you know what I'm saying, understanding and all that, just sat me down, because, you know what I'm saying, I was always solid and loyal on my feet, and certain people, you gotta put them in certain situations for them to get understanding. So, you know what I'm saying, so at 21 I had my son, and that's what I was doing for the next 3 years till I was 24, until, you know, that's the biggest shit in my life.
What led up to you getting shot and then being in the wheelchair?
Oh shit, that was 2013. I was going to a place where I knew, you know what I'm saying, it was where known violence, it happens, you know what I'm saying, sometimes there, you know, but at the same time, if you're not involved in certain things, you don't have to worry. But at the same time, when you put yourself in certain situations where those type of things go down, you got to understand you're accepting everything that comes with it. So I understood, you know what I'm saying, I was going to a certain spot with some friends that I knew for like 20 years, you know what I'm saying, hanging out. Like, so I didn't know what they had been into, you know, or what his little brother had been into. But so I was hanging out with them, you know what I'm saying? We had went there the week before, you know what I'm saying? Then the next week we went again. I usually go like Miami, that's like 30 minutes away from here, or Fort Lauderdale, somewhere Hard Rock, somewhere grown and sexy where I don't got to worry about the hard heads and all the people stepping on your shoes and stuff, you know what I'm saying? If I want to deal with that. So this time I just hang with my friends, you know, and went to the spot where they go and hang out. We hanging out, we all good. Come to find out, it was some dude that had a problem with one of my homeboys. And he never said nothing to us, or we, you know what I'm saying, we never knew, but they knew that was a problem once they seen him in there the whole night, because we had them went to trial, we had them did everything, and they brought in evidence. So that forensic shit is serious, bro. That shit is serious. They got people, they call people in from Michigan, bro. You know what I'm saying, to show you like how cell phones hitting off different towers, how now your cell phone that was hitting in Palm Beach is hitting in this tower in, you know what I'm saying, Lake Worth, you know what I'm saying. So that's how we know you. Just little shit, how people throw themselves away with the pictures that they take in the club and all that extra stuff. And then it happened to be cameras, so thank God.
And that shit is getting worse today, man. The cameras and shit, and then people giving up their information and data freely, right?
Freely. And then the pandemic don't make it no easier now that people don't want to deal with you and see you, so they're not easily giving it over the phone. And like
you have a lot of young kids that get on like Instagram and TikTok, and when you sign up for that, you got to put in your information, you know what I'm saying, like your name and your address, and all these companies, they collect that data on you. You know, they be tracking you if you have a smartphone, right, with that GPS.
It just depends on how big you is, man, if they gonna fuck with you, if they want to fuck with you.
Yeah, that's true.
You ever seen that movie with Will Smith and
Enemy of the State?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I fuck with Will Smith, man. He's the truth.
All that shit real, bro. That robot shit, that Transformers, all this shit. They put it in movies to try to ease it on to us and stuff.
Yeah, there's some truth to a lot of movies that we watch, you know what I'm saying? But like, there's some bullshit in movies too. So it's hard to tell what's real and what's fake. Sometimes we'll see some shit in movies that takes place in the future, right? But we don't know until we get there. The times that we're living in is just like Enemy of the State with Will Smith. You know, they tracking us. It's hard like to do like any type of criminal activity and not get caught because they're tracing you. I mean, you can. I mean, people still do it, but people that do it have to get more smart about how they do it and how they move and operate, you know?
Yeah, how you do what you do when you do.
It's like the good guys versus the bad guys.
But yeah, who the bad guys, right?
It's the fucking government. And
what they say, I was thinking. No, go ahead.
I was gonna make a joke and say it's the white people, man.
You're not all of them.
Yeah, not all white people are bad though.
Everybody's trying to see that now. That's what the corona is doing for us. It makes everybody equal. It shows you that your money and nothing can save you. It shows you that you really gotta be genuine and, you know what I'm saying, put trust in other people too, and then do right by other people, because that's how you want done to you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, big facts.
You will get what you put out and some. So being that you're gonna get the and some, you might as well just try to put out, you know what I'm saying, the best product you can.
Going back to, you know, the incident, if it's like something hard for you to talk about, you know?
Nah, it's not really hard for me to talk about, because I I try to make it that way because, you know, like you gotta be clear, you gotta get things off at times, then you gotta be able to express with somebody or someone, you know. So even if it's not everything, not with you or on blast, it'll still be expressed. But yeah, like me, you know what I'm saying, we comfortable, bro. Like, and then this is nothing that's just gonna help, you know what I'm saying, show people like, my bad, I'm gonna get to it, but people like to see things and believe it too. But if you got the proof, you got the story, you got all that, you know what I'm saying? And then you can help change and have, you know what I'm saying, change souls and minds and, you know what I'm saying, for the better and have an understanding that. So that's what I took, you know what I'm saying? That's what I understood, like, you know what I'm saying, what's going on with me and my story. But yeah, so, you know what I'm saying, they was hitting off different phone towers and stuff, cell towers, and that's how they found out, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying, this is you guys' phone. We know you guys did the shooting. Even if I'm saying I don't know who shot me, you know what I'm saying? They got it on camera and all that, you know what I'm saying? And my friends saying they don't know who shot him, you know, like we didn't, you know what I'm saying, we didn't know. I legitimately didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And then you know how that shit go anyway, so.
Sorry to cut you off. So it wasn't,
No.
well, I know it's street code not to snitch and all that, but like, I mean, you don't have an idea of who they were or what the motive
Yeah,
was?
I know exactly who they are now because we went been through trial and all that. But at the time, I didn't know because, you know what I'm saying, I'm 30 at the time. You got to imagine I'm 30 at the time, right? And this dude was 18 at the time. You know what I'm saying? He had just came home 10 days before he shot me. You know what I'm saying? So he was in prison. You know what I'm saying? 18 at 16, 17 in prison. He had just came home like when he turned 18. You know what I'm saying? But he was like a shooter. It was just another dude that had a problem. But it wasn't with me, but it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my dog. I assume everything once whoever I'm with. You know what I'm saying? You see me with these niggas, you know what I'm saying? I assume everything with these niggas. That's how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I understood. That's how I know. You know what I'm saying? I know that. So bomb, we end up leaving the club. We never should have closed that bitch down. We closed it down, meaning we stayed too late. Like when that bitch was closing, you know what I'm saying? Last, that. Probably could have got out of earlier or maybe been different. But who knows? So we end up leaving out and then like on the camera, you can see them boys walk around, case us where we parked at. We had our car, but we didn't get in. We just sitting there fat mouth and talking and shit.
When you say fat mouthing, you mean that's just talking, right? Is that slang for
Yeah,
talking?
just talking, politicking.
I never heard that slang before. You know, is that
Hey.
is that something new or you made that up?
Nah, that's real old. It's like super old. It just, you know what I'm saying, some people don't say it, but it's definitely down south Palm Beach term, fat mouthing. Triple J, shout out Triple J, one of our best rappers to not be like big. Triple J, bro, go look him up, bro. Just go look him up.
Right.
You appreciate him. He real talk. But yeah, so that's what we doing, and then, you know what I'm saying, fat mouthing, just talking. We just talking.
Got you. I like that. I'm gonna have to borrow that.
Yeah, man, please do. Hey, bro, for real,
fat mouthing.
Hey, I get something from good cats, bro. I tell you, if I'm gonna copy a cat, it's gonna be a good cat, bro. Trust me, I done got so much shit from you. Trust me, believe that.
Appreciate that, man.
But you check me out though, right? So we sitting there, we talking, and then just walk around twice, and then they come around again, but they get in the car this time, and it's perfectly set up to, like, you know what I'm saying, where they pull up can get out, but we in between two cars, so he pull up and he jump out with a K, like you said all on the film, bro, and he just started. I just started shooting, but good thing we was like in between two cars, you know what I'm saying? So when the bullet started, one dog who they was trying to get, you know what I'm saying, he, you know what I'm saying, out of the whatever bitch. And me and his bro like, what the fuck? And then, you know what I'm saying, that's when we realized, they, you know what I'm saying, somebody shooting and getting at it, but the bullets hitting the other car and coming through the window of the other car, because he walking back towards us, you know what I'm saying, because we like, basically we back this way at the back of the car. So by the time he got back to us, that's when I went to make my move back up towards the front of the car, and you know what I'm saying, like I grabbed his little brother because he was like lost and shit too. It was four of us, you know what I'm saying. One of us was able to clear it and get out of there. My other homeboy, he started clearing it once we realized, you know what I'm saying, he got grazed, and then his little brother, you know what I'm saying, he got hit like 2 times in the leg, 3 times in the leg with a K. And I got shot twice in my left flank, 2 times with the K1 when I came out. One went in, came out, other one hit my spine, then broke up.
Sorry to cut you off, man. I grew up in East St. Louis.
Oh, it's worse, bro.
East St.
It's
Louis.
Probably worse than East St. Louis, bro, because they got gangs and shit, bro.
East St. Louis, Illinois. But listen, I was pretty close to the hood. Like I could drive 10 minutes and get to the hood where it's really bad. You know Darius Miles, right? The basketball player.
Davis
Yeah.
Miles, yeah.
You know, he grew up in East St. Louis, and I used to always see him around the area. Like, I'd see him at Best Buy. I used to work at Applebee's, and he would come in there.
Damn.
But he always talks about growing up in East St. Louis and how, like, every day or every night you hear gunshots going off. He's like, it just becomes normal out there. But, like, East St. Louis, I was going to say, like, I grew up in that area, but I was, like, 10 minutes away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't go there, it's like you're living in a different world. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of friends that grew up in that environment, but besides that, listening to rap music and watching like Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood and movies like that, we hear about it and we watch it in movies, but you experienced that shit like firsthand, man. That shit must be traumatic, huh?
It really had you tripping. Like, good thing you said that, because, like, you know what I'm saying, the shooting part gonna end, and then now you get to the traumatic part. So, you know, they were shooting, so I end up pulling him down, and I end up saving that jet, you know what I'm saying, right here. They'll tell you that, you know what I'm saying? So they were shooting, and then, you know, I realized I can't walk. So I'm like, bro, like, stop screaming, bro. You know what I'm saying, bitch, I can't walk. You know what I'm saying? I want to come around the car and, you know what I'm saying, finish if I keep shooting. So he ended up jumping in the car and they peeled off, you know what I'm saying, because they ended up shooting so many shots. It was like 30, 40 some shots.
They were shooting with the AK-47?
Okay. AK-47, yeah, it was like
that's just like a chopper, man.
30, yeah, that is a chopper. It was like 30, 40 some shot that he had shot, but like 20 something of them was like in the other car. Most of them was in the other car, thank God, that was blocking us. Now the traumatic part is, you know, me on my feet, you know what I'm saying? I've been on my feet, like I said, I used to, you know what I'm saying, like go box in the streets, like give people love, we go box each other and shit like that, and putting on the boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, you know what I'm saying, I stand up in the street, I want like no bullet, you know what I'm saying? No shit like that, bro. I just always stood my own, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, I always had understanding. But being in this wheelchair, I'm better, but I'm worse. You know what I'm saying? Because now, you know what I'm saying, I can't put a pause on you. And people know that.
Going back to your story, like, so after you realized, damn, I can't walk right now. Mm-hmm. How long did it, sorry, this shit is crazy because you're telling me like a real like story that's like, you know, it's not a movie or in the music. You know what I'm saying? This shit's some real shit right here.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, let me tell you what was going on. Okay, let me tell you, like, okay, as he's shooting it, then I'm saying like, okay, don't scream, dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to come finish us. So then I'm like, so he pulled off, right? And then what's going through my head? So I guess I black out, right? And what go through my head, like, damn, my baby. I think about my baby. I think about my baby mama. You know what I'm saying? Because we were together 20 years. So I was thinking about her. I'm like, damn, I can't walk. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck? And then I was thinking about all the other shit I love, you know what I'm saying? Things I love, and, you know what I'm saying, people I love. I swear, bro, it's just like that. Like the movies show you, bro. I don't know, because I watch so many movies, but that's what I'm telling you. I had it to me twice, you know what I'm saying? When my son passed, it still happened with me. But yeah, so I'm on the ground. So then I wake up.
Hang on. Okay, you're good. Sorry, your video had froze. Your audio was okay, but your video froze. It's all good. Yeah, it's good.
I woke back up, right? Mm-hmm. I come back out the blackout, right? And then it's the security standing over me with the gun. I'm like, bro, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. It's security standing over with the gun. He like, I'm like, yeah, them boys gone. And I'm like, take off my shoes. Because it felt like my feet was swollen. I know I can't feel my legs, but I don't know, I still feel my feet. So like, this how the fuck I can't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not working right now. This all going through my head, because I know he calm when pressure situations. That's what the best thing you can do is relax. During the most pressure situations, relax, breathe, because you can die, pass out. That's what almost happened to me when I was saying with my son, bitch. I was taking him, bitch. I'm like, dang, I'm on my feet, everything healthy.
So you said you blacked out, but then when you woke up, security was standing over you?
Yeah.
So you don't
standing over me.
So you
it was only, I only blacked out for like, it couldn't have been no longer than like 10 seconds, bro, 15 seconds at the most, because my friend, they had ran back to me, because I know, you know what I'm saying, I know how long the shooting went, and then, you know what I'm saying, because I see the video, and then from there, and it wasn't long, you know, it was just like quick, bum, so much stuff. When I came back to my eyes, bitch, I'm like, don't shoot me, because I see him point. I'm like, just take off my shoes, bro. He wouldn't touch me, though. Me and other little bro got trauma halt to Delray Medical.
How long did it take for, like, the ambulance to come?
Yeah, it seemed like they were there quick, bro. It seemed like it was, like, within, like, 10, 15 minutes of happening. Because it was, like, police was there. It's, like, a patrol area. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that club is a known, like, violent area. Like, shit happens. So, police is going to be up and through there. But it took, like, you know what I'm saying, the ambulance, not too long, because it was a hospital in those areas. So, they sent a truck from that hospital, but took us to a different hospital, farther away, a better hospital that was made for trauma victims like me and stuff. They took me to Delray Medical, but where this happened at was like in Lake Worth. They're like 5-10 minutes away from each other, but I got helicopter trauma house. So
Oh,
I had paramedics out there, but then we was waiting for the helicopter to come.
So they took you in a helicopter or an ambulance on the way to the
Yeah,
hospital?
bro, in the helicopter, bro. And then I guess they put, you know what I'm saying, when the ribbon closed off, and put me to sleep so they can administrate me, you know what I'm saying, keep me from moving and going through shit because I was having pains and I was, you know what I'm saying, going through it then at the time. But my mind, I made sure I like stayed focused on understanding, okay, I can't walk, I'm paralyzed right now. I understand that it's gonna be trauma to other people, but don't make it traumatizing to you. But this shit I learned through the years of, you know what I'm saying, death.
Yeah. On the way to the hospital and you're in the helicopter, like what is going through your mind?
I went to sleep again, bro. They put me on the medicine, made me, you know what I'm saying, go sleep because I was doing too much moving and fighting. So, hey, before I got on the helicopter, right, I'm thinking like, damn, you know what I'm saying, I got weed and shit. I'm taking the weed out of my pocket, throwing that shit. Yeah,
You're like, I need that shit.
Joint, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I said, bitch, I ain't trying to catch no charges. I'm fucked up. You know what I'm saying, bitch? So that's all I had. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm worrying about a little dumb shit like that, bro. Like, I'm not be just so aware, even in pressure situations. So I'm doing shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Throwing that shit out there. I remember being on there, they asking me my age, they asking me my name, how much I know, you know what I'm saying, how much awareness I got, and then they were like, all right, John, we're gonna do this. And the next thing I know, I was in a hospital bed. I just remember them coming. I'm like, oh shit, a helicopter. Dude, I'm like, bitch, I'm shot though. Like, this ain't good. I'm like, God, just keep, you know what I'm saying? Like,
explain to the people listening, you know, there's a lot of people that don't grow up in that environment. They kind of glamorize that lifestyle,
especially
right?
Nowadays.
I want you to explain to the people what it really feels like when you get shot, because people think sometimes it's a game. They think it's a joke, right? They make a joke out of it in entertainment. Tell people how that shit feels. The bullets, man, like I can only imagine what it feels like, but I'm assuming that that shit burns.
It's hot, and then, but how I got shot, I had only half of the feeling. So I only got half of like the hot and the stinging and the pain, but I got other kind of nerve damage and stuff and feelings and pains that I go through all the time. The gunshot ain't no joke. How about after that, right? In my wheelchair. It don't have to be. It's not cool, you know what I'm saying? I don't glorify none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? And I live a life that these niggas rap about. All this shit these niggas rap about. You know what I'm saying? I live this shit. Like, I never like glorified doing wrong or do no shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga who killed my sister, you know what I'm saying? He is my niece's uncle. We could have did something or do anything, you know what I'm saying? But why perpetuate the vibes and keep it going? Like I told you, I always been a God-fearing man. So, you know, but now it's just more, I have more of a peace and more understanding, you know what I'm saying, to all this life I live, and I'm still be at peace more than a lot. So I got shot on a humbug because of my environment. But you know what I'm saying, I wasn't mad and you know what I'm saying, wasn't upset with them when it happened and how it happened, because you got to know what you're dealing with. If you're choosing to do and be around certain things and accept all people, you know what I'm saying, that comes with them, then that means you're accepting all the bad that could possibly happen in the situation as well as dealing with them. You know what I'm saying? Now that's all good. So that's why you pick your circle, pick your energy, and pick your team, you know what I'm saying? Because you get to do that.
Right. Let me ask you this. Going back to hip hop, like in rap, because there's a lot of controversy about the influence of rap music on the young minds, right? The young people that are influenced by it. Like people like Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know that clown? How he just be rapping about like the shit that you went through, man. He be rapping about that, and a lot of young kids look up to him, or they watch his shit, you know, and he's talking about shooting people with choppers, but we know he don't live that life.
I was watching other podcasts. That was
Stats Cochran, the lawyer.
Stat Cochran. I'm glad to be born in the time that I was born in too. We was born during the best times, brother. Believe that. Like,
yeah, but go ahead.
I'm glad to be born in the time, because like these kids that's been born now, they ain't got no morals, no nothing instilled in them. You know what I'm saying? And you really can't instill it in them because all this shit is BS now. Like a lot of this stuff is BS in the world. We was born during great times to, you know what I'm saying, like to be born in the 80s, right? The 83 babies, 84, 85, you know what I'm saying? And then like live your little teenage years and good years in the 90s and stuff. When the internet and all that stuff came, like we was getting grown, you know what I'm saying?
It's tougher today because you have a lot of young kids that can post their own shit. Like when we were growing up in the 90s, like we didn't have phones and shit. We couldn't easily talk to a lot of people like we can today. No. With that comes danger when it's that easy to access, build a brand, and gain a following. That shit is dangerous, because if you have some people that are ignorant leading the blind, it's like the blind leading the blind, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's all it is. That's what's going on today, bro. This whole blind leading a blind. These young kids that was born in the 90s spoiled having babies and shit now, and I was spoiled as babies. You know what I'm saying? That we didn't want to live like how we had to go through and struggle and take care. You know what I'm saying? It's just not instilled in them how it was, and us coming up through the years. So that's why they're glorify this dumb stuff.
The stuff that is going on today, it's always been around, but today it's just easier to show it off to the world, and anybody can.
Like you said, it wasn't access like that. We just see it like that. Now everybody just posting all the shit that's going on, and it's just bomb in your face.
There's positives and negatives to that though, because people can show what's really going on, but back in the day, like the entertainment that came out, it was more controlled by the government. The FCC and the CIA, they would control what's going out on the media. But today, anybody like you and me, we could put out our own shit, you know what I'm saying? But with that though comes stricter internet regulation laws. You have the government trying to control YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and what people can show.
The algorithm.
Right, the algorithm. But yeah, they control all that shit, man.
Bro,
that's a fact.
And now at least we starting to see what side of the fence everybody's on. You know what I'm saying?
Even the shit me and you are talking about right now, if I try to present it to the world in a certain way, the CIA and the government, the FCC that control how videos are put out, like you said, the algorithm, they might try to take our shit down.
Yeah, especially if we get too much influence, too much, like, you know what I'm saying, power by following.
Facts.
They know that's power. They know, you know what I'm saying, having the people under you, because we run the world, we give them power, you know what I'm saying, to do us how they do it. That's what people understand, because that's all you put here for a limited time, to come together, do something great, and then go on to the next world and do something great. And then this new world, we seen it, bro. We know how this new world is.
We're living in the times right now already, and some people are too blind to even see it. They're worried about their taxes and shit.
They're worried about money, bitch.
And they don't even know they're being socially engineered to think a certain way.
Yeah. Not worrying about money, bro. Yeah, bro.
That's why I fuck with Tupac, because he kept it real. Like he said, how much money do people need? How many houses do you need? How many rooms when you got people out there starving?
But the youth don't even know that. That's the realest rapper. Like, it don't get no better than that. It don't get no realer than that. For me, like, rap, know what I'm saying, how I listen. I listen to a good song or a catchy song too and vibe, but like real music and rap, know what I'm saying, Pop always had a standard. That's the standard, you know what I'm saying? He said it way back then, and, you know, like.
That's why I give respect to the rappers today that are still bringing some consciousness to the game, like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Like those two guys, like they have the commercial success, they have influence over people, but they don't be rapping about bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They be rapping about socially conscious shit, but they do it in a cool way that people feel it. You know what I'm saying? So
timeless music. You know what I'm saying? That music always gonna last and go on, because real always gonna be real, you know, and authentic. You know, anything that can stand the test of time, that's authentic, that's real, and that's genuine. Those are things that stand the test of time. If you can go back and look on anything that's still standing in this new electronic world today, that's from old school or back in the day, you know, like that's still around, is it like you gonna always be able to live off the land. Living off the land ain't gonna never get old as long as you know how to do it.
But now today in 2020, the land that you're talking about isn't farming anymore. The land that we're talking about is
we gotta leave the US, bro, to live off the land. We gotta leave this bitch.
But the land today that we're mining is digital shit. We're in the electronic age, and so the shit, the land that we have to mine is the people.
It's on the network.
Yeah, it's on the network, man. That's what we're mining.
It's the network land. It's a network. It's not the land. It's the network now. It's now out here. It's in here.
That's how people make bread today, is by doing this type of shit, you know? So it's like, as much as I hate on like social media and Facebook and Instagram and all that,
it's a catch-22.
It's a catch-22 because people make money off of it. People make a living off of it.
You won't be a contradiction, and you won't be a hypocrite. You won't be a Benedict Arnold or whatever you believe in, because you're doing something that you said you don't want to, or you don't like, or that you don't really fuck with, because it's the way of the world. What you mean? It's the way of the world. I gotta grow as I go. You gotta get with the time. Certain things you gotta adapt to and adjust, and some things you don't have to.
Here's a rapper that is in my top 5 that a lot of people forget about in their top 5 is Nas.
Nah, yeah, man.
If you listen to his lyrics, man, he always spits the truth. But he's kind of like our generation of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. He was a cool dude that a lot of people were like, yo, this guy, he ain't a nerdy motherfucker, you know?
Nas split it out about what went on.
He kind of mastered the entertainment side too, as far as like being able to have the young kids think he's cool, but at the same time still giving them knowledge that their mind can grow.
Yeah, it's a balance, though. It's not like you putting on, you're just showing them like, okay, I know what y'all talking about. All right, this is that, but this is the real too. Like, yeah, when you can, you know what I'm saying, come to people, all you want is understanding about everything, you know what I'm saying? Everything you ain't gonna agree on, but if you gotta understand how you think, where you coming from, okay, cool, and I understand I gotta have my view and my things. It might not be the same or this or that, but at the end of the day, okay, I got understanding, and now I know how to approach other things, and you know what I'm saying, look at things in a different light too. But you won't, you know what I'm saying, you won't take that unless you go through it yourself for you to get a certain awakening that you need out here.
Some people go through those experiences through life experiences, and some people get it through books.
Yeah.
But those two, I think, are the biggest teachers, are your own personal experiences and then reading books about people that we look up to and then listening to their stories. For example, I read Kevin Hart's autobiography called I Can't Make This Up. Do you know what book I'm talking about?
I didn't even know he had one autobiography.
He talks about his life struggle and how hard he had to work to get to the top of the comedy game. He struggled so much, man. He did a lot of work for no pay. Like, he would do shows for free or for little money just to practice his comedy skills. And he said there were a lot of times where he got booed off the stage. But if Kevin Hart would have quit at that time, then we wouldn't have like all the good creations that he created today. You remember that movie that he was in, Paper Soldiers, with Dame Dash and Jay-Z?
Yeah.
It didn't do big numbers, but if he would have quit at that time,
he wouldn't have got Soul Plane.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got Soul Plane. Or even Soul Plane didn't do...
It didn't do that. Soul Plane wasn't even that for me, but it was just...
I fuck with Soul Plane, man. I like Soul Plane, man. That shit, it makes me laugh. But the masses, like I think the white people, they didn't like that shit because I feel like it was going too hard on white people. Yeah. and they were making fun of white people too much in that movie that white people are like, oh man, this shit don't make us look good.
Hey, white people understand this. Let me say this. My bad. Message. Hey, we make fun of ourselves just as much as we make fun of you guys.
Yeah, we can't take life too serious, you know. Nobody's gonna make it out of this life alive, so.
Alive, right, bro? Like, no matter how good you is, how bad you is, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? You can be super good and the best angel, and, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get to make it till you're 13. And you can be super bad and the best devil, and you live for 99 years or something. So, with that being said, it's how you treat and move. It ain't like what you do out here gonna keep you out here longer. No, what you do out here gonna have a better life for you after this life. You know what I'm saying? I believe in God, but when you're talking, certain people just talk and say a certain way so that they can all feel where you're coming from, you know? You know what I'm saying? Just being basic. Okay, take God out of the equation. Take them out of the equation. Now let's just go off of feeling. Let's just go off of how you feel. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about robbing or somebody taking? Oh, you don't like that feeling? Okay. How do you feel about eating ice cream? How do you feel about treating somebody doing something nice for you? How do you feel about somebody giving you this or giving you that?
Here's a thought: the best way for people to learn about each other is through what me and you are doing right here, talking, right? Learning about each other. You know, we both come from different backgrounds, but we're both American. We were both born in America. We share the same nationality, but our cultures are different. Because I grew up in an Asian household and, you know, you grew up in the African American household. But if we just go by what we see on TV and movies and music, we would have a small mentality about each other. But at the end of the day, me and you were both human beings, and we speak the same language, but you speak a different way with your friends versus how I might speak with my friends. But like you said, it's about how can we get on the same level and get an understanding. And that's why people like Tupac, his voice was so big to all races because he spoke in a way that everybody could understand what he was saying.
It's actually basic to me, but I kind of understand it's not so basic because that's not the training you're getting. That was the training I was getting. I was getting life training, you know what I'm saying, and as far as like the life that I live, understand what I'm saying, the rough times and going through that, that's the training I was getting because you got them feelings and people just don't want to approach them feelings. They don't want to live in real. They want to live in their world, you know what I'm saying, whatever feels good to them and best to them.
They get stuck in their own mind. And if their mind only knows the small area that they grew up in, then their scope of other people is going to be smaller. It's just going to be what they see on social media, on mainstream media, on movies and music. That's their whole scope. But in order to get a better understanding of human beings, people have to travel outside of their own community and go interact with different races.
Yeah.
There's people I know, white and black, from East St. Louis that never left East St. Louis.
Yeah.
How the fuck is their scope gonna get any bigger about the world if they stay in East St. Louis and never leave? And that's the same as all cities around the world. There's people that believe that they can't go outside of their city and try something new or different.
Yeah, and then if you're not meeting or talking to people like you and other people, understanding, you really won't see life, what it really could be, how great you all really could be as a team. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta like team up, but you ain't gotta do me wrong either. You don't have to go out your way to do me wrong. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying, go out your way to hate or be negative.
From all my experiences in life, I realized that there's no one race that is always good and always bad. There's good people in every race, and there's fucked up people in every race too that just do bad shit. You know what I'm saying? They have evil in their heart.
That just ruin it for everybody else, bro.
That comes in my people too, like Asian people. There's racist Asian people. I just don't fuck with those kind of people. You know what I'm saying?
It's just so easy for me not to worry about it or care, because I know I'm not missing out. I'm not gonna learn nothing. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, gain nothing. I'm not missing out on nothing on those type of individuals when they selfish. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their selfish ways and stuff, but it shows. Everybody say that they're this, but you know the only thing that you are is what you do. So everything that you do, that's what you are.
And I think it's important that we as older people now, me and you, we're both around the same age. I'm 36 now. How old are you?
I just turned 37, April 16, 1 year older than you.
March 19, 84. But for us now that we have more time in our older age, it's up to us to keep reading and learning. We got to first strengthen our mind so we can give better information to the young kids. Because if me and you, we don't give information to the young kids, how are they going to grow right? If their heroes are Tekashi 6ix9ine, you know what I'm saying?
That's what you got to look up to, bro. You're going to be lost. You're not providing the real knowledge for them boys to get it. Like little things that's just going to help you carry on when you don't have the power to deal with certain things, and you don't want to throw yourself away, and you don't want to be acting violent just because you're in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to let feelings control your act.
That's why we have to support the real. All the people out there in the world that are doing bigger things than us, that have an influence over younger people, that are spreading a positive message. Those are the people we got to support heavy, like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar and
Cordon, YBN. Well, he ain't YBN no more. He go ham. He be spitting that real. Remember when Y2K was coming? Everybody thought their bank was gonna not work and all this.
I remember that.
I'm like, it's tomorrow. What are we gonna do? It's just gonna be tomorrow. It's still gonna be going on. Shut up.
But I was gonna say along those lines, like the shit that's going on today with like the presidential election coming up, I think this is a very pivotal moment in America's history.
Bro, either way, it's gonna be something, bro. Whoever gets elected is gonna be something.
That's what they're saying, man.
You just gotta stay home, stay out the way, bro. Stay out the way, man. If you ain't white and right, stay out of the way. Just stay out of the way, period. White or anything, but that privilege ain't gonna matter. See, the white people get a bad rep for the slavery for back in the day. Y'all didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? You probably lit, you know what I'm saying? But you just get the bad rep for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we get the bad rep for filling up the prison. It's an understanding that people can have and have their minds clear, you know what I'm saying, bro? Because ain't no way I'm in this wheelchair. There's people on their feet more stressed than me. Because you know what? You still gonna have to get money and work after the election. You still gonna have to fend for yourself. That ain't never changed for y'all, huh? All y'all that they telling them to go vote and do all this, how many times have you had not to work? Like, how many times has it changed? Once they got in office, has it changed for you personally? Never. It's never changed for you.
The older we get, we can see the game for what it is, right? It's all a game. Even friends that I grew up with some middle class people too. And their idea of the American dream is different than people that grow up in poverty. And then also it's different than people that grow up in the upper class, you know, people that grow up in privileged families. It's all different, you know.
White or black, white, black, Asian, whatever color you is. In America, it depends on, like, you know what I'm saying, what your people had coming up showed you, okay, a certain way of life, or how to live, or how to get it, or what you had to do. You know what I'm saying? We had to get it out of the mud. I'd rather go through the struggle and not have the money and then get the money later than have the money
Kevin
go through the
Gates.
struggle.
I have to get going soon, man. I have to take care of some work.
Yeah, bro.
But yeah, I could talk to you all day, man.
Yeah, bro, we could do this all day. I tell
We
my
could do
people
this
about
all day.
you, I say, bro, this man here, though, he helped change me. He don't even know it. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
Last question that I want to ask you, though. You told me before you had a Korean friend. Like, how did you meet this guy? Basically, how did you meet him?
Yeah, I moved back down here from Orlando. I was moved back with my mom from living with my auntie and stuff in 6th grade, and we had met him. We met him in 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? It was too Rich and said me and Rich are still friends right now. But said it was basketball. I used to walk past them dribbling the ball. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna speak first, but I'll speak. You know what I'm saying? Be cringy. I give you what you give me. I just used to pass by them dribbling the ball. They used to be out there and see me, so I used to make sure I'm doing my best dribbling when I get past them. You know what I'm saying? So one day they said something to me, and I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm actually happy they saying something to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yeah. I played a little bit up in Orlando, this and that. So that's how we met playing basketball, and then we just grew up.
What was your Korean friend's name?
Oh, said Long. He actually used to do music and stuff with Ja Rule and
Ja Rule. He was cool.
with Murder Inc. them boys and all that. When 50 them had them boys, he ended up having a falling out with all that stuff. But anyway, so we ended up falling out, like, cause you know what I'm saying, like, I'm with the genuineness, you know what I'm saying, like, and he always had like little ways, but you know that we just coming up, but I don't have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown now. And certain things I don't need in my life. He wrote a letter to my old lady, bro. You know what I'm
you
saying?
told me about that.
Like, you know what I'm saying, talking about me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro, what kind of nigga? Like, you supposed to be my friend. Like, but you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I'm like, okay, before I hurt you and do anything to you, I'm gonna cut you off, you know. So then when my baby passed, he was one of my closest friends. And I'm thinking he gonna be there, come for me, come with me, you know what I'm saying? He call, check on me. People tell him call, check on me, but he was straight. It ain't like he had to or did nothing. I just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You one of my closest friends. Out of all people, I expect you.
Even me coming up in my teens and 20s, a lot of times we're all going through the same life, right? No matter what color we are, we all have our same struggles and life challenges on the day-to-day. I personally have lost friends from my teens and 20s from me being young and not knowing how to handle relationships better. But the older I get, I try to reach out to some of my good friends that I lost contact with and see how they're doing.
Yeah, and you always have that, long as it depends on how it happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're gonna fall out with people, but it depends on how it happened, what you did, how far. And I'm pretty sure like you can go back and holler at anybody in your lifestyle right now, because if I'm betting my money, I'm betting with you. When I seen Young 4 years ago, it probably was longer than that. It's just like, damn, he got it too. Okay, so you can have that understanding in the world and have some peace. It's like, bro, this is really real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. I'm not, just because I've been through all this and all that, I'm not stressed. Am I stressed? Like, what's going on, God? Like, why am I not stressed? You know what I'm saying? Oh, because it is. You know what I'm saying? You, like, open my eyes to that. So once you did that, that helped me with a lot of other things. So it just all depends on how you fell out with the person did. Like, he could have got back in my life, but you know what I'm saying, I'm just done with it now. You know what I'm saying? It done been, I done got shot after that. My sister died. You know what I'm saying? People you went to school with, like, we growed up, like, you know what I'm saying, you still had chances to reach out. You know what I'm saying? And death is one of the best times to, like, okay, like, to be there for somebody when they're at their lowest.
Sometimes I look at my old relationships with old friends that I fell out with, and in my mind I think about all the stuff that we've been through, and there's certain people that I feel like are worth reaching back out to.
Yeah, worth the time.
But there's some friends that, you know, we didn't have as strong as a bond growing up, so I'm like, you know, I could reach out to them, but you know, it's like
it wouldn't make no sense because like you didn't really get the vibe or do that too much, you know. So,
so when the universe is ready, right?
The universe is 10 unfold as it should. Harold and Kumar. The black guy when he was locked up in jail. I appreciate the on-time opportunity, man. Appreciate you talking, bro.
No problem, man. I appreciate you taking your time out of your day to talk with me. Hit me up anytime on Instagram.
For sure, my G. Until next time.
All right, respect.
Day one, the Burn Egg Roll, positive vibe.
Take care, my friend.
This concludes our danse macabre.